Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. This is our Tuesday evening introduction to Lifewave and X39, the star of the show. My name is Robin Blank Muscari, and I'm here to be your host along with my husband, Gregory. And what we do this evening is we do a brief history and overview of our very special company, Lifewave, and introduce our technology. And then we bring on our special guest. And tonight we have Dr. Walter Young with us, an acupuncture physician. And then we turn things over to you. It's your turn to share questions, to share stories. Please write them in the chat. Remember, we're not here to heal, cure, or diagnose anything. We're a natural health company, and we have a wonderful product that helps the body do what it was designed to do, which is come to homeostasis. So to get started, let's turn things over to Gregory, and I'll turn things over to you, darling, so you can do your beautiful presentation. Over to you.
Well, I'd love to. Thanks very much, sweetheart. And good evening, everyone. Very excited to be able to share with you a little bit of information about Lifewave X39 and this historic, affordable breakthrough in stem cell technology. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and share a brief PowerPoint with you. And I want to share a brief realization I came to not too long ago. I finally figured out what I want to be when I get older, younger. And I don't know how many of you can relate to that, probably many of you. But, you know, I'd like to switch it and ask you a question. If anything were possible, what would one thing you would choose to experience differently in your health? Think about that. What is one thing you would choose to experience differently in your health? More energy, better sleep, more mobility. Maybe there's just some of those nagging symptoms of aging you'd like to turn back the clock on. And, you know, what difference would it make for you if you could impact that one piece of your health? Well, I want to make note, disclaimer up front, our products are not designed or intended to heal, treat, or diagnose any disease. However, they do help our body get back into homeostasis and a more healthy regenerative mode. And many times wonderful things begin to happen when you do that. So let's talk about the stem cell revolution. Welcome to the stem cell revolution, because we believe everyone wants to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And stem cells are the key because they're a vital part of our immune system that repairs and regenerates damaged cells in all of our organs, glands, muscles, bones, everywhere throughout our body. But here's the problem. The sad truth is, the older we get, the fewer stem cells we have. And the fewer stem cells we have, by age 60, only a small percentage remains. And the fewer stem cells we have, the faster we age and the slower we heal. And so what about stem cell injections? They become quite popular, but they're really quite expensive. They're very painful, risky, controversial. And there's no guaranteed results. You could go spend thousands or tens of thousands of dollars without any guaranteed results. Well, we've got really good news for you here tonight, because you can look, feel, perform, and live younger with a historic breakthrough in stem cell activation. And it's a new wearable technology in patch form, and it's extremely affordable. It's safe, non-invasive, drug-free. It's a patented form of phototherapy, which I'm going to explain in more detail in just a few minutes, which uses very specific frequencies of light to increase and improve stem cell activity. This is the brainchild of our visionary founder and CEO, David Schmidt. He's not only a brilliant scientist and researcher, David is absolutely a genius inventor with over 100 patents and patent pendings. And he's been on the leading edge of phototherapy research and science for over 20 years. David's already conducted over 90 clinical studies proving the efficacy of Lifewave phototherapy products, and there are many more studies in the works. So Lifewave itself is a 17-year-old advanced technology company focusing in health sciences. It was founded back in 2004 based on an energy-enhancing technology David developed for Navy SEALs to help increase their strength, stamina, performance without drugs, stimulants, or caffeine. And this technology turned out to be so effective, it's now used by world-class athletes all around the world in almost every sport. Our corporate headquarters and laboratory and manufacturing are in California, Utah, and Ireland. And we have global distribution to over 70 countries, from our 14 global distribution centers. And certainly the word is getting out, and Lifewave patches are now used by pro and amateur athletes around the world in almost every sport. In fact, if you watch any of those replays of the recent Olympics, you might see some of these wonderful little patches on some of their bodies because approved by the Olympics organization. And the media is certainly taking notice of it. So let me explain how this amazing technology actually works. It's based on a type of light therapy called photobiomodulation. That's kind of a mouthful, but maybe Dr. Walt will explain that in more detail in a few minutes. But Lifewave patches contain a very specific combination of organic materials and nanocrystals. And when they're physically applied or near your body, actually within 3 to 6 inches of your body, they're activated by our body heat. Then they begin to re-emit very specific wavelengths of light, which stimulate targeted and beneficial biochemical responses in the body. This is known as photobiomodulation, and it is the basis for Lifewave phototherapy patches. Now, it's been a well-recognized and proven scientific principle that specific frequencies of light can cause very specific changes in our body. For example, when we go out in the sun, a specific frequency of light causes our body to make vitamin D. We're not getting a download of vitamin D from the sun. It's a frequency of light causes our body to manufacture vitamin D. And there's another frequency of light that causes our body to make melanin, the chemical that gives us a suntan. Well, Lifewave's patented technology is based on the same rock solid, well-recognized scientific principle. And I'm happy to say for the last 12 years, our focus has been in the field of anti-aging and regenerative science. And sorry, my cat's kind of excited about X39 too. She's wearing it on her collar, okay? A Lifewave X39 stem cell activation patch was released to the global market in January of 2019. And this truly is a historic and affordable breakthrough in stem cell activation. Some are calling it the holy grail of anti-aging and restorative science, and we are actually doing what the multi-billion-dollar companies and big pharma have not been able to do. X39 activates a very specific copper peptide that activates our body's own stem cells. And it also alters gene expression towards a younger and more vibrant you. So X39 certainly is a game changer. X39 activates our stem cells, and our founder, David Schmidt, has said, this is my greatest achievement yet, with an emphasis on yet, because the research continues in the field of regenerative science and stem cell technology. And yes, we have patents. Yes, we have clinical studies. Yes, we have field results that prove X39 is actually turning back our biological clock, helping people to look, feel, perform, and live younger. And for us baby boomers, this is very, very exciting news. So that's my short little intro. And Robin, I'm going to turn it back over to you and the good doctor for the rest of this evening.
Thank you, Gregory. I love that presentation, and I love those new questions. They get us thinking, and I'm pondering on those right now. And there's certainly some things that, well, I've had a lot of things get better. So what I want to do is turn things over and introduce our special guest this evening. And we have so many wonderful practitioners. Actually, thousands of practitioners have joined Lifewave because we've got rock solid science behind, and bottom line, the products work. So this evening, I get to introduce Dr. Walter Young, and he comes to us with a conventional background as a nurse and working in ER and ICU and interventional radiology. But then he made a shift in his career in 1990 when he went to Beijing. And he, something deeply changed in him as he got a whole new paradigm of the healing modality. And he became a nationally accredited acupuncture physician. That's an AP. And this man has such a huge heart, and he really integrates the combination of allopathic and Eastern medicine so beautifully. He understands the body's energy system, and our products work on our body's energy system. So he's masterful with really understanding how to use this technology. And I just love working with him. I got to meet him in person recently, which was thrilling. I don't think I've done a program since then. So welcome, Dr. Walt. There you are.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see a still picture of you.
Okay, it says the host has disabled me.
The host has disabled you. We'll
The
see.
host has now enabled you. My apologies.
Oh, it's your fault, Gregory. Okay,
It's my fault. Go ahead.
Blame it on him. Let's see if we
Okay.
can see your mug here.
It's
There
better.
you are. Yay. You're intergalactic right now. I love it. I
I'm
love
gonna
it. I
change
love
that
it.
then. Hi to
Yeah.
everybody. Hi to everybody. Yeah.
Yep. Well, great to see you. And it was
Great
so
to see you
wonderful
again.
meeting you in person. That was just such a gift. And thank
Like-
you for your huge heart and caring so much for so many and pulling off the gloves and sharing the truth about what's going on. So let
Yeah.
me ask you something, Dr. Welch.
Sure.
Yeah, it seems like you've fallen in love with this technology. What is it, as a licensed acupuncture physician, got you really excited about what we have here with Lifewave?
Well, because the Lifewave goes along with my medicine, Chinese medicine, talks about meridian systems, energy, and that's what I studied. All parts of our 8 branches of traditional Chinese medicine deal with the energy of things. So a lot of people think when they hear acupuncture physician, I just stick needles in people. But we go through 8 different branches that we have to learn, just like a medical doctor would go to pediatrics, orthopedics, neurology. They go through all of those things. We go through something similar with acupuncture, and we do other things with acupuncture besides. We go through food therapy. We go through our form of massage or PT, which is something called Twina. So we do a lot other things. We even study basics of feng shui, which is really how the environment affects you. But all of these things, even food therapy, it deals with, and herbal medicine, it deals with energy and how the energy matches your system. So Lifewave was a perfect match. There wasn't even a thought like, should I, shouldn't I? After I read all the research, and and the people that I met on those days that we all got together, know that research is very important to me. And something that we haven't mentioned in a long time. And I was on a call yesterday with some patchers and some new wannabe patchers. And remember that our patches are an FDA approved class 1 medical device. So if you ever have to talk to physicians or any other people, that might be of interest to them.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you for that.
Sure.
So did you want to say something?
Well, I was just going to say, the one thing that I've noticed, I'm 69 years of age, and I started medicine in 1974 all the way back, and then I went to China in 1990. When you are a type of practitioner, physician, you need to always be researching on what's going on. Science changes, and you have to change with it, and don't get stuck and left behind. And this is a company that's like that. I mean, this is a paradigm shift. This is huge. And especially, the 2 things that I'm passionate about is pain and insomnia. You got to heal those before you can go on. And when I can put a patch on somebody's clothes and they feel pain relief, that's spectacular. So it's a whole big shift, and I have an obligation to share this.
Well, thank you so much for that, because one of the first things I ask people, if there was a technology that could safely, affordably, naturally, and effectively work, would you be open to it? And we're looking for people that are open, and you're one of them. And you like you mentioned, there's a responsibility to stay up with things. And we're living in a very interesting time where, stem cells are the future of medicine. And we're here to talk about stem cells a little bit. So I know Gregory started the process, but if you could share with our audience a little bit about why are they so important, and what are they?
So stem cells are a type of cell, and another word could be mother cell, that can be anything that it wants to be when it grows up. You have a lot when you're a child, and as we progressed, of course, they start to decrease, and we don't want that. That's why we go through the aging process. We get a little bit, more illnesses. We don't heal as fast. We don't have the vitality we had. If we're into jogging or riding the bike, maybe a little bit harder for us. We don't jump out of bed spring out of bed, as some people have said, in my age or older. But with these stem cells, it totally turns around a lot of areas of your body, and it starts to go out and work on what needs to be healed first. So that's a very important thing. And everybody wants to feel vital and energetic. When you wake up, you want to bounce out of bed. And I've heard that with many people in my age and even older.
Isn't it wonderful that
It
we
is.
actually can get better as we add more years?
Mhm.
How exciting is that? So who can use this product and who shouldn't use this product?
The easy answer is the only people that I would not put this on were somebody that was a transplant patient, somebody that was receiving an organ, because we don't want to disrupt anything with their immune system right now. But everybody else, even though we don't have any research on pregnant women, I would I would definitely use a stem cell patch on that type of patient. Excuse me. Yeah.
And how long does it take for people to notice something?
Now, yeah, that's the one thing about my medicine. Everybody is different. Today, when I was at the clinic with Dr. Dave, he was making up tinctures for people, but they were specific to their problem. Everybody that has a knee issue or a shoulder issue or a hip issue may get a different type of tincture. There may be something a little bit different added to it. So if you are expecting your shoulder pain to go away and it doesn't, that means the mother cells, the stem cells, are working on something else in your body that's potentially more important. So that's why I say give it about 2 to 3 months. And once you start seeing those signs, like on the Zoom yesterday, this gentleman was wearing it for 2 months and he started seeing changes. So then I said, now's okay if you want to add the glutathione based on what he was, what his issues were. So it just depends, Robin. Everybody is different. Give it a try, give it a chance. I challenge you to keep it on at least 3 months and you're going to have a story. Some people, it happens right away. I've seen that, them sitting right in my chair. And all of a sudden I say, okay, stand up and walk around. They say, what did you just do? I have no pain. And then I get into a little bit of the explanation.
Yeah, well, I think that's really wonderful. And I have a tendency to be conservative on expectations. We know it's always working, but you may not be noticing it. And like Dr. Walt says, give it 3 months. We had a story from a woman who was really not noticing much until a year, and her life is transformed because of it. And she just stayed with it because we know it's working all the time, which is very exciting. And we always like to see results. It's fun when, especially with our ice wave patch, the pain relief patch, we get instant or rapid results with most everybody, which is exciting.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So what makes the ideal conditions for someone to get the maximum benefit of using this technology?
Well, with the X39, because we're talking about X39, consistency, using it the 12 to 14 hours, hydrating yourself, take your body weight, divide that in half, and that's the ounces per day. If you want to bump it up a little bit, I'm in a higher altitude. I'm at 7,800 feet and it's dry here. So I might bump it up a little bit, but just, carry your cup around, just help it out, because you are like an alkaline battery. And you need this transfer of energy that, before any chemical reaction, these photobiomodulation occurs. These little spurts of light happen to increase the chemical reactions that are going on. So that's really it. Be consistent, hydrate yourself, and sit back. Take that little card that you get at the beginning of your Lifewave. It's like a little journal, and it may sound really trite, but write down things that might be changing. It could be as simple as my skin is changing on my face, or my hair is getting longer, my nails are harder. So that tells me things are happening on a very cellular level.
It's so fun. I mean, I started out because I wanted my knee pain to go away. And then
Right.
just like you said, my hair, my skin, my nails, but this one's my fun one,
Yeah.
my finger was stuck like this for 20 years and now it could do that.
Yep.
And so it is cumulative and it gets better and better. And so what Dr. Welch just said is we have something called a health tracker. So whether you're a customer or distributor or brand new, just checking us out, make sure you get a baseline of what it was like before. And then check in on a regular basis, once a week for the first month and, once a month for the next several months, because subtle things are getting better all the time. And sometimes, when Gregory says the lumpuckaroo goes away, we forgot we had it. So it's
Yes.
really good to have a baseline. And let's see, what else do we want to share? What other important things do you want to share before we open things up for questions and stories?
I think the main thing is just to be consistent. That's across the board, whether it's my type of medicine, like with herbs, or I change food therapy. Be consistent because it's a contract between us. I don't do the job. You're going to do the job, but you have to do certain things. The consistency, drinking the water, and have fun with it. Know that something's going to work because these cells, thank God that David was downloaded, whatever he downloaded, because this is a huge damn shift for us to activate the copper peptide in our body and help us, even at my age, with more stem cells. I have seen amazing wound healing, not only from myself, but other people with these patches. Amazing.
Yeah, it's quite extraordinary. I think we say wow a lot. Do you say wow a lot?
Yeah, a lot. A whole
Isn't
lot.
it fun? Isn't it fun? Because sometimes we have a hard time believing. And for those people that want to hear a lot of stories, we get together on Monday morning on Live Younger Chat at 8 a.m. Pacific. Anyone's welcome. And we call it the Monday Morning Believe It or Not, or the Monday Morning Miracle, because people just share their stories and we're going, wow, wow, wow. It's
Right.
just, and it just keeps getting better. And so this body is so miraculous, and these frequencies of light just help the body do what they're here to do. Okay, so let's open things up for some of our guests here. I'm going to start out with Wendy's story, and I know you got to meet Wendy in person also. And she said, I have had an astonishing results after a car wreck ended life as I knew it. I spent 15 years in bed in pain with ice. Then I was introduced to the patches. 1 week and the pain was 60% better. After 2 weeks, she was upright and productive for an hour a day. And after a month, was able to play in the garden a bit. Now it's been 2 years and my neck is able to hold an earring and a necklace after it couldn't do that for years. It's an ongoing story and it just keeps getting better. And so amazing. So thank you, Wendy. And I know you're just diligent. Yes.
It was amazing meeting her and hearing her story. She's a very special woman.
Yeah, very special woman. And she went through a lot. And, if you're the kind of person that likes to share, I mean, I started out as a customer and then, I had such an amazing experience. I felt the sense of responsibility to let people know it existed. So let's see, we have a few questions in here. And can you ask Dr. Wall to comment about the use of patches for people who are in their late 60s and 70s and beginning to not remember names or plans or things? Are there testimonials for these issues, and what would you recommend?
Yeah, there's testimonials for those issues. And I would always start off with the X39 at the base of your skull, okay? Do it there. You can put it underneath your belly button, but if you're having issues with your brain, put it there on the back of your neck. Start with the X39, see what happens. And like I said, give it a good 2 months at least. Going into the third month, you'll start to see something, hopefully. And then whoever your person is, that's when you can add some other patches. A nice one would be the carnosine. And since we're going through what we're going through, everybody's stressed out. We need our antioxidants elevated. So I would also do the glutathione. Start with those three, but the X39 first, and give it a chance, a couple of months, and then get back to the person.
Great. Yeah, carnosine is wonderful because it does work on short-term memory, doesn't it?
It does. Yep.
We've had some, it works on a lot of things. It works on the eyes, the heart, the brain, muscle tissues. All, it's an amazing patch, and it is one of our anti-aging patches too. It's part of our YH trio.
Right. Yeah.
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 It's a special one. Okay, Sharon is asking, she has a customer who had something removed in their brain behind the eye, and it affected the eye muscle, so she can't shut her eye. They tried tightening the muscle with no luck, and facing another surgery. Is there any of the patches that you would recommend that might be able to help them?
So once again, remember the stem cells. Don't ever forget the stem cells. That's the magic of this whole company. So I would put them, you know, you could put, I don't know what side it is, but let's say it's over here, put it on right on the temple side of the skin. Start with that. You can also add the carnosine and also the glutathione. Let's see what happens with that, but give it a try. Don't forget to hydrate and be consistent with it.
You're going to talk about the energy patch?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, energy enhancer.
We've got a few more questions. I'm sure that'll come up.
It'll come up.
Because we always love hearing about that. Mary Page has a question. She says she's got a pressure sore that's a year old. Would anything help with that?
Well, here's where I'm going to cross over. Number one, your albumin level seems to be a little bit lower, so you need to get tested with that. But once again, the energy, I mean, you've got energy enhancer on my brain. The stem cells, definitely put the stem cells on there, drink your fluids. And then as time goes on, see what, you know, you can measure the wound. I used to be certified in wound care management. That was in another life, but measure the wound so you can see that it's decreasing a little bit. But I would definitely see what your albumin level is. If you're eating, you know, the right foods as far as are you getting enough protein in. You know, one thing, Robin, I'm going to say, and this is just me as a physician, if you're building a home, you have to build a good base, and that's the floor that you're going to build on. Our base are our essential amino acids that we have to get in our body. So if you have to take essential amino acids, then do it, because those are your building blocks for tissue. But X39, without a doubt.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, because David sends that all the time. It's, you know, the patches do their work, but we have to do our part.
Yeah, we have to do our work.
We got to have the lifestyle that makes a difference with, you know, healthy nutrition and movement and rest and hydration and good oxygen. So all of those things are important.
And
the
I think
patches can do even better. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's why you have these talks with us physicians, because there is another part of it. Like you said, don't think the patch is going to do everything really fast, because you've got to have, you know, are you eating right? Are you moving a little bit? Are you thinking right? There's a whole contract here for your body. But these patches are, I can't even, the only words that come to me is it's a huge paradigm shift for us as humans. Yep.
Aren't we lucky that we get to live in this time of a paradigm shift?
Yeah.
Okay, Jocelyn is asking about a 16-month-old that has fever and vomiting with that thing that's going around that she seemed to have gotten from her parents. Would you recommend any patches for this little one?
Well, you can, I would definitely see a pediatrician, number one, if they're having that. You know, vomiting is not good for children. They get dehydrated very quick. Kids can go down the tube really fast, but they bounce back if you give them the right things. When I worked in ER, you know, some of them were breathing well. As soon as we gave them oxygen, they start to bounce back. But yeah, you can always try the glutathione, the antioxidant, because it's a young child. See what happens with that, but just keep an eye on a child. Pediatrics, when they get sick, I mean, PD kids, when they get sick, that's pretty, it's tenuous. You have to watch them.
They're little.
Yes.
Yeah. They can lose hydration quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on to Mary Nelson, and she said, which patch would you use for pain that runs down the leg?
Okay, so once again, find an area when you push on that area that's the worst pain, put an X39 there, and now comes the energy enhancer. So energy enhancer is something that we put on the bottom of our feet, and that opens up your meridians. It gets things moving and flowing better so that you can have a little bit more of a energetic balance. Remember, when you're upset, even if you're angry, things constrict in our body and you're not getting the proper energy. We are about movement of energy. You want your energy to be flowing smoothly and all the time. So I would do the energy enhancer under the foot on kidney 1, and that's in your little brochure that you get, and then use the X39 right where the pain is, and just be consistent with that.
Beautiful. I've heard some people put a patch at the top of the pain and one at the bottom of the pain. Have you heard about that?
I have heard about that, but I've seen good results with just one patch.
Great.
Remember the Western thing, more, if one works, more is better. You don't need to put 18 X39s on your body. Work with one, start with that and see what happens. If you want to put 2 and you can do that, go ahead. Remember, these guys can't hurt you. And while we're there, let me remind you that you will, on occasion, this was a gentleman that came to me 2 days ago, and when we put the X39 on his knee, he was told by the medical doctors that he had the beginnings of arthritis and maybe 1 or 2 bone spurs. But after further investigation, we found out that he had a little tear in his meniscus. So when we put the X39 there, his pain got worse over time. That's because those little stem cells are trying to repair. And as they repair and detox away all of the bad cells or the dead cells, you might feel more pain, or you might feel a little punky. You might have a general fatigue. Drink your water. So we move the patch down, and now he says the pain is better. And then we moved it up to his neck, and he said it's better.
Okay, you just brought up something really important, because sometimes when people start using the patches, they don't feel as good as they want to feel. Matter of fact,
Right.
sometimes they're in pain or it's worse. And you explained it beautifully that, those stem cells are regenerating those old dead cells that are sloughing off that need to be replaced. And so
Right.
that can cause some inflammation. So what's nice about it is you can just take the patch off if it's too much and work up into 12 hours. You don't need
Right.
to keep it on if I had that happen with my arm. It was a past injury and this acute pain came back, and I called Dr. Nicholas. He goes, "Oh, that's called retracing." And I went,
Yep.
"Okay, what do I do about it?" He goes, "Take the patch off if it's too much." Isn't that
Right.
nice that you just take it off? It's not, you can't untake a pill. So this is exciting. And
Yep.
lots of water, like you said, lots of water.
Yeah, lots of water.
So we have Sharon is asking, her husband has a muscle twitching on the side of his eye. Which patch would work to quiet that? Excuse me. She tried Ian and carnosine with no luck.
Tried carnosine and which one?
Ian.
Okay. Once again, see what happens with the X39. And for that also, I would want to know if he was getting enough of his B vitamins, So there's a little of a holdover there. See if the X39, and is he, sometimes twitching is stress. So we want to see what's going on with his intake of his food, of his vitamins. I don't know, other things about him. So I'm talking a little bit blindly here, but start with the X39. Remember these stem cells. These are the magic cells in your body, and they really know what to do and what to repair first, and then go right down the line.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that. We have time
Sure.
for just 1 or 2 more. Stacy's asking, my new PC was wearing X39 and got a rash at the location of placement. Is this possibly a detox? What would you recommend?
No, it could be from the tape that's on the X39. have him take it off right away. And if he puts it on somewhere else and the same thing happens, he might be a little bit, it's not an allergy. He may be a little bit, susceptible to the tape. And that's one thing I want you to also know. I wear the glutathione periodically because when I do wear it, I feel hot. And sometimes I have felt a little itchy. I'll go like this. So I think that, and this is not by blood test, but it's just by my knowledge, my glutathione level is pretty high. And so I will take it off and put it on like every third day or even every second day. And I notice that really helps me because my food, what I eat in my food, you get glutathione, the precursors from your food. If you're buying a pill to raise your glutathione level, you're wasting your money. That's researched.
I hope everybody heard that. Glutathione taken that goes through the GI tract doesn't get to go to work. It gets yeah. Well, that's wonderful. Okay, one or two more here. Is X39 safe for a person with a stabilizer on his spine, and will it help?
Sure. I mean, there's no reason why it shouldn't have put an X39 with a stabilizer. And yeah, it's going to actually help. The stem cells are going to do what they can. If you don't want to put it right on that area, put it above on your neck or go below and see what he's starting or he or she is feeling always. Now, remember, we haven't talked, I mean, X39 is the king of the show. Maybe he has some inflammation there and you can put on the Eon because the Eon also will lower inflammation. Okay.
Great. Great. Well, there's some more, but we've run past our time and I want to thank everyone for being with us tonight. Dr. Walt, always a treat to be with you. Always, always, always. Thank you. And thank you everyone who's a participant this evening. And if you are a guest and this is your first time and being introduced to Lifewave, please get back to the person who invited you. We have several different programs and there'll be one that fits for you, either a customer program or a distributor if you're the kind of person that likes to share and is interested in an income. Lots of exciting things going on with this company. We are truly sharing something historic, a breakthrough that is changing people's lives, and we need lots of voices to get the good news out there. So thank you everyone for joining us this evening. So at this time we will complete our call. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.